Welcome to Full Circle. I'm Suzanne McAllister. Well, overcoming employment challenges is not only a good business plan for employers, but for employees as well. On today's program, we're going to find out what Citizens Energy Group is doing to meet those special challenges. Here to start off our conversation, it's my pleasure to welcome Tamika Leslie to our program. Tamika is the Diversity and Inclusion Manager at Citizens Energy Group. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So when we talk about the workforce, certainly there are myriads of topics to bring up. But let me find out from you, first of all, what are some of the special challenges that you have with your workforce?
Well, currently we have a few challenges, and one would be high turnover, specifically in our call center and meter reader areas. We have an aging workforce where we have about 13% of our population eligible to retire. So there are some opportunities for more employment there.
So you're probably always looking not only at the workforce you have currently, but projecting what your needs are going to be as you do your strategic planning.
Yes, exactly.
So how does the diversity and inclusion component fit into that strategic planning, Tamika?
Well, there is a strategic plan, a 3-year plan for diversity and inclusion programs. There's several action items and priorities that we use to diversify our workforce with a couple of different programs.
So what are some of those programs? I know later on in the program we're going to meet an intern, so I would think that would be a real key component of what Citizens Energy Group is doing.
There's a couple of partnerships that we've done with a local high school. One of the action items in the strategic plan is for us to partner with community organizations as well to provide opportunities for people with economic needs, people who are underemployed or unemployed in the workforce.
Sure, and I would suspect also that training is part of that, so being able to partner with the schools will help in that training process as well. Do you find that to be the case?
Yes, it is the case as well. There's a lot of training that is needed or helpful to overcome some of the challenges that we have faced over the last few years.
Sure. And when we talk about diversity and inclusion, I would suspect that that also includes veterans who many times find it difficult to get employment.
Yes. Veterans coming back either from some of the Desert Storm, some of the being integrated back into the workforce has been challenging for them to find opportunities. So Citizens is proactively looking into opportunities to provide employment for veterans as well.
Well, and when I have gotten to know folks from Citizens Energy Group, I know it's a very big organization with many skills that are required. If someone wants to find out more about the kinds of work employment opportunities that you have, what's the best way to go about doing that?
There are several ways that a person can find out about employment opportunities. We do have a website. They can log on to citizensenergygroup.com, as well as like us on Facebook and Twitter. So we do have some non-traditional ways that people can find out about our employment opportunities.
Well, you mentioned some non-traditional ways, and maybe this isn't so non-traditional, but also focusing in not only on interns and veterans, but individuals with disabilities. I understand that that's a real key component that Citizens Energy Group wants to be sure that they are meeting that need.
Yes, we are going to be partnering. We are actually partnering with a group to help us help people with disabilities find gainful employment in some of the areas that I mentioned earlier.
So is it difficult for you to get that word out? Obviously, you are doing so many good things at Citizens Energy Group. I'm glad we have a program like this where we can help spread the word.
Yes, I am too. We do job fairs for veterans. They're specifically geared to people with disabilities and veterans as well. So there's a lot of other avenues that we've used as well.
All right, well, when we come back, we are going to meet an intern. He's a 9th grader, and he's already working at Citizens Energy Group. Stay with us for more. We are back. We're continuing to talk with Tomiko Leslie. She is the Diversity and Inclusion Manager at Citizens Energy Group. And joining us now, we have DJ Webb. He is an intern. He is from Providence Cristo Rey High School. Welcome to the program.
Hi, welcome.
So you are only in the 9th grade, but you are already working at an internship program. You are a very motivated young man. Congratulations. Tell me what you are doing at Citizens Energy Group.
Well, right now I'm working with my supervisor, and I am doing database, which is safety training with Citizens Energy Energy Group. And what I'm doing is the people that go to the meetings, I take the information, I put it in the computer with the scale.
So is it a difficult job for you, or did your schooling help you with some of that training?
I'm not going to say difficult. I'm going to say I had some experience on a scale before, so it's pretty going along with what I do at school too.
Sure. So Tomiko, tell me a little bit about this partnership, how it interacts, how many interns you have from the high school?
Yes, Providence Cristo Rey and Citizens Partnership includes 4 interns right now, 1 in our Human Resources Department, in our Information Technology Department, obviously our Safety Department where DJ is, and then another one in our Lab Services. So we have 4 students. Basically, Citizens pays a small stipend for the students to come and get real-life work experience in addition to their education that they're receiving at Providence Cristo Rey.
Wow, and only 4 interns, so that's a real honor for you. DJ, I'm wondering, you are slightly hearing impaired. Has your experience at Citizens Energy Group helped you in terms of being able to work in diverse work environments?
Yes, it had. It had helped a lot. I've been through that, so it has helped.
You said you've been through a lot. Tell us a little bit.
Okay. Well, when I was 2 weeks old, my mom passed away, and then when I was 3 years old, I've been through cancer, which is all involved with radiation, neuroblastoma, and leukemia.
So cancer when you were 3 years old.
Yes. Just last year, I had scoliosis, and January 25th of last year, I went in and they did surgery on me, and so I have 2 metal bars in my back, but I'm still willing to push and do what I do.
So the metal bars in your back probably keep you from not doing certain jobs, but how are you able to, with all the things that you've described, be able to make that leap from school to work at Citizens?
Well, I have a couple of family members who inspired me, to keep on pushing, and then when I get to be with Citizen Energy Group, it's very helpful for me.
You are such an inspiration to keep on pushing. Tomiko, I'm sure that you have to be thrilled with your intern, DJ, and also the other interns that are working at Citizens.
Yes, definitely. It's a heartfelt situation. He's been through a lot, and we hope that Citizens' experience will help him build a lot of confidence in himself and gain some experiences that he wouldn't have otherwise received with the barriers that he's had to overcome.
Sure. And why does Citizens Energy Group place such a value on these internship and work-study programs?
Well, obviously, we Citizens' corporate values are safety, integrity, teamwork, diversity, and quality. We place the commitment and the value on these types of programs because it helps the community. It helps people with needs be able to come to an environment that they can feel comfortable in and that they can work in and feel like they are part of the group.
Absolutely. So having that work family relationship almost. So DJ, when you talk with your fellow students back at Providence Cristo Rey, what do you tell them about your working? I mean, this is a big deal.
Yes, it is a big deal. I like it a lot. I always tell them how good and fun it is, how of a life experience that you can really get working with these older people. And it's not that you just meet them and you work there. You learn responsibilities and you learn how the work environment in the real world is.
Wouldn't you love to be able to have all students have an internship, Tamiko?
Yes, and most of the students at the school actually are able to do internships at other organizations throughout the city as well.
Well, there's so much to learn through an internship. Very briefly, what would you say to somebody that's, say, in the 9th grade about pushing hard, like you said earlier?
I would give them a lot of advice. I would encourage them as much as possible because there's not a lot of people out there that get this experience and get this chance to do this. And I'm thankful for that. But I would say for another 9th grader that, live in a different world or anything else, I would say to keep on doing your best. Just do all you can to keep on pushing yourself, be positive.
And be positive. DJ Webb, you are an inspiration. Thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Now, Tamiko, don't go away. We're going to keep you here and we're going to find out more about some of the Citizens Energy Group programs after this. Welcome back. Well, no matter where you live across the country, certainly you may be dealing with workforce development challenges, whether you are an employer or an employee. That's what we're talking about on today's Full Circle. We're continuing with Tamiko Leslie of Citizens Energy Group, and now we have Mary Lane. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So Mary, tell me what you do at Citizens Energy Group.
I work in internal audit, and I'm an audit and compliance analyst.
But I think it's interesting because earlier in the program, Tamiko was talking about turnover in the call center. You actually started in the call center. Tell me about your progression at Citizens.
I started working at Citizens back in 2001. I started working part-time in the call center. One of the main reasons why I came to work at Citizens was I had 2 small children that were in kindergarten and 1st grade. And I did not want to work full-time anymore, and the call center was open till midnight at the time. So I worked from 6 to 11 p.m., and then when the hours shortened, I worked while my girls were in school. So I worked in the call center for 4.5 years, and after that I went and worked in our risk management department on a developmental assignment for a number of years in the credit and collections area, and then I was handled the assistant work for our compliance with our Sarbanes-Oxley Act.
Sure, and that's a huge act to have to be compliant with. So Tamiko, I would suspect that one of those workforce challenges is to be family friendly and to work and have some flex time for families. And obviously that's been the case with Mary. How do you work that into your overall plan?
Well, there are opportunities. I know there are several people who still actually work in the call center and they work part-time flexible schedules. There's a variety of different schedules for people who have outside influences that cause them not to work regular 8 to 5 shifts.
Sure. Yes. So, Mary, you shared with me during the commercial break you have scoliosis. Yes. I'm wondering how that has been a challenge for you in the workforce and how you have been able to integrate all of you, into the Citizens Energy workforce.
When I graduated high school, I had a number of challenges in just getting a job to start off with, because there was a perceived notion that maybe I couldn't do the same as a quote unquote normal person could. I got an opportunity and have been able to build on it since then. But often it is the perceived notion that maybe somebody with a disability or who looks a little bit differently may not be able to rise to the occasion and be able to manage a regular schedule like somebody else.
So how are you able to overcome that?
Well, I was raised by a mom who the word quit wasn't in her vocabulary. And she drilled that into my sisters and I have continued on with that mantra and raised my daughters with that mantra. My husband and I have as well. Working at Citizens, it is a family environment, both being family friendly and treating each other like a family. So I have felt just as accepted and a part of the workforce at Citizens, just like anybody else. And in my current position, I interact with all employees, regular employees, directors, managers, VPs, and even Carrie Likens. And I'm treated just like anybody else.
Who is the CEO, by the
Yes.
way, of Citizens Energy Group. So Tamika, what I'm really hearing, and I've certainly experienced myself, is that the culture of Citizens has made it important to be inclusive and have diversity.
That's true. And one of our overall goals is to position ourselves as a leader in not only the city, but in the state of Indiana as a leader in diversity and inclusion, where people can come to work and know that they're going to be respected and valued for their contributions from all levels of employees in the organization.
Sure, absolutely. So how do you measure success with these? I mean, obviously hearing Mary talk about what a wonderful experience she has working there, are there other ways that you determine the success of the internship program or other diversity programs?
Well, we do receive a lot of feedback from the partnerships as well as from the employees who actually are employed there. One of the other ways that we measure our success is just by the sheer number of people who have gone through the program, are successful, and have positive feedback to talk about, like we are doing here today.
Sure. So Mary, there may be some folks that are watching this show that didn't have a mom like you, that was not going to take no for an answer. Mm-hmm. You've obviously been successful. What advice do you have for people that maybe they've been trying and they just cannot get that job because of whatever disability they have?
Believe in yourself. That's the most important thing, is to believe in yourself, surround yourself with people who provide you with inspiration. Just average people, so to speak. Look for somebody maybe who can support you, be a mentor to you. Look for companies that are inclusive, both in regular people that they employ and people who meet all the different types of diversity categories.
Very good advice. Mary Lane, thank you so much. Mary is with Citizens Energy Group. So is Tamiko. Leslie, ladies, thank you so much. We appreciate your being here today.
Thank you for having us.
And if you want more information about the topics that we've talked about on today's program, visit our website. But we're back after this with our musical showcase.
Stay tuned. Musical Showcase is coming up next. And now, here's our musical showcase.
Welcome back. It was great spending the last half hour with you. If you want more information about the topics we covered, there's our website. Be sure and check it out. But not just yet. Here in our musical showcase, we have the Lockerbie String Quartet with the Alleluia Chorus. I'm Suzanne McAllister, and I'll see you next time, Full Circle.